Chapters from the book Economics Made Simple, written in an understandable manner. Chapter 1. Why do we need the economy? Why do we need the economy? It's a question that may have crossed your mind at some point, perhaps during conversations about politics with your friends, or maybe you discussed finance, or maybe even your everyday life. Economics is often been seen as complex and daunting, but it plays an important role in shaping our world in ways that may not always be logical to you. Because please try to imagine a vibrant marketplace where farmers trade their organic produce directly for clothing, digital artists exchange their creations for groceries, and freelance developers barter their coding skills for accommodation. That simple wouldn't work. Without the economy, there would not have been any social jobs, no healthcare, no value based on supply and demand, and thus no currencies/money for purchasing goods and services. So saying this, consider for a moment the decisions you make every day, from what to buy for lunch to where to invest your savings. Behind each of these choices lies a web of economic principles, everyday charging prices, supply and demand, and mostly the allocation of resources, which means the process behind the distributing of available resources, such as money, goods, or services. All is intertwined and has influence on each other. Back to you, because economics isn't just about understanding individual choices. It's really about how groups of people manage their stuff to meet everyone's needs around the world. Whether you're a student, a business owner, economics helps us figure out how to handle life and connect with everyone else. We're all part of a big web where we help each other out and get help in return. So that means that the economic system is also there to help people. When the economy goes well, there are more resources to help the people in the system and support them. Therefore, the economy is also crucial for that matter. The economy is therefore key for improving living standards for all members of society. In conclusion, figuring out why we need economics isn't just something for school. It's about understanding what shapes our world and what's coming next for all of us. Economics helps us see and deal with big problems like poverty, inequality, and making sure we can keep growing and taking care of our planet. If we listen to what economics teaches us, we can work together toward a future where everyone has a fair chance and our world can keep going strong. Chapter 2. How economics affects our daily lives. Still, a lot of people have a bad feeling about the economy, which is understandable because it doesn't always goes well, but still the economy will make our lives better over time. So, as already mentioned above, the economy is there for the people to make our lives more easy. So what does our economy brings us? Jobs and income. The economy determines whether there are enough jobs available and how much money people make. When the economy is doing well, there are more job opportunities, higher wages, and people feel more secure about their income. But when the economy is struggling, it can be harder to find work, and wages might not increase as much. Prices of goods and services. Ever wonder why the price of groceries or gas goes up and down? That's because of the economy. When the economy is strong, prices tend to rise because people are buying more and there's more demand for goods and services. But when the economy is weak, prices may drop because people are spending less. Quality of life. The economy also affects our overall quality of life. For example, when the economy is booming, we might see improvements in infrastructure like roads and schools, better healthcare services, and more investment in our communities. But during economic downturns, these services may suffer due to budget cuts and reduced funding. Opportunities for growth. A strong economy creates opportunities for personal and professional growth. It can lead to advancements in technology, innovation, and education, which can open up new possibilities for individuals to pursue their passions and achieve their goals. Security. Finally, the economy can impact our sense of security and well-being. When the economy is stable, people feel more confident about their future and are more likely to make long-term plans like buying a house or starting a family. But during economic uncertainty, people may feel anxious and hesitant to make big decisions. In essence, the economy is like the engine that drives our daily lives. influences everything from the jobs we have to the prices we pay and the opportunities available to us. That's why understanding how the economy works is so important for navigating the ups and downs of daily life. Chapter 3: Early Beginnings of the Economy. Money began to exist a long time ago, due to convenience. In the early ages, trading was not always easy. When we go back when goods and services were exchanged directly to obtain desired items, we encounter a challenge. Not everyone possessed goods or services of equal exchange value. To streamline this process, currency emerged. Historical sources suggest that the earliest forms of currency were pieces of weighed silver utilized in trade transactions around 2,500 years before Christ. These silver pieces were cut into segments, then weighed and assessed for value. Hence, the first medium of exchange was a silver ingot. To explain it a little better, let me tell you a story about a horse seller called Oliver when currency didn't exist. Oliver adored his beautiful horses. He spent hours with them, grooming them and teaching them tricks. One sunny morning, Oliver decided to sell his prized horse, Sparkle, for a cart at the village market. As they arrived at the market, Oliver's heart swelled. With hope, he had his eye on a shiny new cart to help transport goods to and from the village. That would make my life so easy, Oliver thought. However, when he approached the cart seller, the man said, "This cart is worth more than your horse, and I already have enough horses to pull my carts. I don't need another." "I'm sorry, Oliver." Oliver continued his search. Suddenly, he spotted a group of children giggling and playing nearby. With a twinkle in his eye, Oliver had an idea. He approached the children and asked if they would like to see Sparkle perform her tricks. The parents of the children had seen that and asked Oliver, "Were you trying to sell this horse?" "Yes," Oliver replied. "Why?" the parents asked. "Well, I need a cart for my vegetables and apples to transport them to the market. It would make it way more convenient for me." The parents said, "Well, we have a cart at the back. It's not as beautiful as the other one, but we are willing to trade." Looking at the cart, Oliver thought, "This is not what I had in mind." But he was desperately in need of a cart and agreed. Not completely happy, Oliver went back to his home. This simple story shows how difficult life would have been without currencies. If we did not have currencies, interpretation of the value of an object would have been the standard, which is different for everyone. That's why currency was invented around 2,500 years before Christ. Chapter 4: From Shells to Coins. A small period later, also the Chinese found out the hustle of trading, and separate from the silver trading, a new way of trading emerged out of the sea. It is likely that the Chinese began to use shells as first country as a form of currency. This is derived from ancient Chinese writings where they used the image of a shell to denote money. It seems that shells were even held as currency for a considerable period in some countries. However, it was soon discovered that shells were not effective as currency. It was realized that there were too many shells in circulation, leading to inflation. Yes, even shells are familiar with the phenomenon of inflation. Something that had a value of 2 shells became worth 1,000 shells due to a massive increase in the number of shells on the market. Shells too experienced inflation, just like our savings now. At one point, each country had its own form of currency, whether it be shells, precious metals, or stones. However, this was not practical. Around 700 years before Christ, the Roman Empire began minting the first standardized coins, made from precious metals with fixed weights and dimensions. This promoted trade because valuable time was not wasted weighing precious metals or determining the value of currency. Many countries would later follow suit. And so, money as we know it today was born. The money stimulated the economy and facilitated transactions between people. At that time, people were already striving to make transactions more efficient. Nowadays, money is digital and it looks like transaction takes only seconds, which isn't the case on the background. That's the reason why we still fine-tune this process continuously. The easier the transaction, the faster the economy can grow. Present-day banks are currently working on this with blockchain technology. Because interestingly, when you transfer money, it is only officially sent from bank to bank the next day. Thank you for listening to a part of my audiobook. Do you want to read the complete book? please go to my Etsy page via the link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe and follow my channel for more books to come.